Hi everyone, happy Tuesday. It's February 15th. I am in Italy, of course, in our Palazzo, and we're going to cover three main topics today. We're going to talk about Italian homes, we're going to talk about Piera's book, and we're going to talk about olive oil, and it's going to go fast. I do want to kick off, before we go into those three topics, I want to kick off with the situation in Italy, because I know everyone's starting to think about coming to Italy, coming on vacation. Oh, the Prince of the Palazzo just walked in because he likes to be present during these sessions. Yeah, he's our 80-pound huge rescue dog. Anyway, welcome, Apollo. Okay, so how are things going in Italy? Things are going really well in terms of numbers. Let me give you some examples. So I'm going to read off a list of about 8 countries in order of number of cases. So as I go through the list, it's going to be countries who have less cases overall. And Italy is at the end, near the end of that list. I'm also going to tell you the percentage of change in the last week. Okay, so of these 8 countries, the one that has the most cases per population in the last 7 days is Switzerland. But good news, they're down 40%. So that's great. Germany is the second in the list in terms of most number of cases in the last 7 days per population. Germany is up 28%. As you may have seen in my other videos, Germany's been on the increase in the past couple months, not on the decrease. My very inexpert reasoning behind this is that Germany had Omicron enter later than the other countries for whatever reason, but I don't know. Anyway, Germany, we've seen an increase in Germany in the past couple months. Then fewer cases still, Portugal, which is down 50%, pretty great. France is down 60%. Fewer cases, even fewer cases per population in the last 7 days is Greece. Their change is flat from the last week, which is good. They're not up. Italy is the next on the list in terms of fewest cases in this list that I gathered of 8 countries, down 52%. So that's fantastic. Italy's been on a steady decrease with Omicron in the past couple months, especially last month, I would say. UK down 20%. And the USA down 68%. So the USA is doing great. USA is doing the best in this list of 8 countries that I chose. Of course, you can look at the whole list of all the countries in the world yourselves. And keep in mind, these are just cases, because if we look at deaths, sadly, the US is actually the worst of all of these 8 countries, probably due to lower vaccination rate. Again, I'm an inexpert. I'm not expert on this, but USA is doing great in terms of current number of cases per population, but not great at all in terms of total deaths, sadly. Okay, so that's how Italy's doing compared to some other countries that I just randomly picked, mostly European. Third doses. So Italy, as a population, 82% of the Italian population has had at least the first 2 doses of a 2-dose regimen. The third dose, 61% of Italians have had their third dose of the vaccine or their booster. Some of these vaccines, of course, are 1 dose, but then had a booster. I'm actually going in today for my 3rd dose. I had to delay a bit. I had COVID unofficially in December. What does unofficially mean? Unofficially means I had COVID, I tested positive, I self-isolated. I basically applied the American rules in Italy, which it is what it is. I did not have contact with any other people while I was positive. And then I did just constant self-tests. And then when I was negative, after I was negative, I re-entered society. So, but since it was unofficial, it can't count towards my green pass in Italy. So I need to get the 3rd dose anyway. And I had to delay getting my 3rd dose because I needed to talk to a neurologist first, because I'm already at risk for stroke. And so because of a certain type of specific type of migraine that I get. And so I wanted to just get the all clear from my neurologist. And so that happened last week, and I'm going in today for my 3rd dose. Okay, so I guess all to say there is that make sure you're getting a medical opinion about whether to get the vaccine or not. Don't just decide based on what you're reading on the internet. Read on the internet, because there's fantastic information on the internet. I read on the internet all the time. But also make sure you're getting one, if not two, medical opinions. Okay, that's it for the update on Italy. Let's talk about Italian homes and real estate in Italy. Okay, so I'm in the Palazzo right now. It's an ancient 4-floor palazzo with Etruscan grottos 2 levels below street level, and then 4 levels of living space above street level. There's a long history about this palazzo. Originally, the ground floor was magazzini, which are storage areas, garage space, cantina for storage, this kind of thing. And the first floor, which in Italy is 1 floor up from the ground floor, was the living space, the traditional living space. It was a large 3-bedroom, of course, 1 bathroom home with 2, 3 large salon type spaces. And in the 1950s, they did a major update on the palazzo, and they added an extra wing off the back, and also solidified some of the, levels that were really from, we don't even know how long ago, 1300s, 1400s, 1600s. These palazzos are always in a state of flux. So now what we're doing with projects in the palazzo is we are, first of all, redoing the entire roof and making sure that it's earthquake resistant and of course waterproof and insulated and all that good stuff. But we actually had a beam that was collapsing and propped up with some temporary supports. So it was really important that we do the roof. And as a result, we're going to do we are currently working on other projects in the palazzo, which include 3 guest suites, 3 full guest suites, meaning you'll have your own little kitchen and access to the roof terrace, which is going to be really beautiful. So anyway, that's what's the main program is with projects in the palazzo, that guests can come and stay in our palazzo. This week we had a ton of rain, and it came earlier than expected because they were supposed to put la gettata on the roof, which is the light cement covering on top of the wood, which is replacing the tile. So it's a little bit technical, but in Italy, a roof has a layer of tiles and then another layer of tiles on top, which help the rain carry off of the roof and not enter into the house. Well, that's great, except it's very heavy. So we eliminated first of all the heavy wood beams, which were falling apart, and I mentioned collapsing. All of the heavy wood beams in the attic space are going away. All of that first level of tiles is going away and being replaced with wood, thin wood slats, not huge wood beams. And then above that will be replaced the traditional tiles of the palazzo roof. So it's a big effort because it's a very large palazzo, and I'm looking at the scaffolding as I look out the window right now, and it's been up for several months, and it will probably be up for a few more months. So we're anticipating we will be opening these suites by the end of the year. It's a huge project. Okay, that's what's going on with the palazzo. Of course, we already have open and available the Village Townhouse. It is largely booked for this year, but there are a few weeks left. If you want to look online, umbriabove.com. We have a family coming at the end of February to stay in the townhouse, the Village Townhouse. And that's really exciting because they're doing something really special that is also on our website. It's called long-term stay. And instead of just coming for 3 days or 4 days or a week, they're coming for 3 weeks, and they're going to work from the townhouse. There's lots of different workspaces and, of course, Wi-Fi on every floor. The Village Townhouse also has 4 floors, but it is considerably smaller. It's still a large 3-bedroom home, but it's not of the grandeur of the palazzo where I am now. Anyway, that's really exciting. We actually had rescheduled Christmas lunch there this Sunday on February 13th, and it was such a blast. 18 of us, of the family, we were there and had this huge meal with antipasto and lasagna and roast meats and these fabulous desserts like Carnival desserts and Italian mille cake, which is the multi-leveled pastry cake. Oh, it was to die for. And the little sweets stuffed with either ricotta or crema. Amazing. And then we sang and played guitar at traditional Italian songs for like 2 hours. It was so amazing. It was such a special time. And that's a great lead in actually to the matriarch of our family, Piera, because she was over the moon. She was so happy to have the whole family together at lunch and to not have really missed Christmas lunch. Well, we did miss it, and that was such a disappointment for all of us that because of COVID and so forth, that we were really glad to have it after all. So she was over the moon. And then that's a great segue into her book, which is available on Amazon. You can check out the link in my profile on Instagram, but her book is called Piera, A True Story of Love and Survival in World War II Italy. It's unbelievable. True story, her memoirs of before, during, and after World War II in Italy and Greece. Okay, that's really exciting. Last thing, quickly, olive oil. Our olive oil is still available. There was less production this year, but we have actually the same quantity. So don't worry that we were running out. The reason we have the same quantity, despite the drought, is that we expanded the number of olive groves that we harvested. So there's still a considerable quantity of olive oil remaining, and let us know if you're interested in any olive oil. It's also on our website. Last thing about olive oil, we also have Adopt a Tree. Some people have adopted an olive oil tree, which is really fun. You get your name on the olive oil tree and you're supporting the care of that tree and the harvesting of that tree. And included in that adoption of the olive tree, you get oil, of course, also from that tree. That's it, everybody. Have a great Tuesday. And from Umbria Above and Projects in the Palazzo and all our other crazy projects that we have going on, this is Ellen and the Prince, who's sleeping down there to help. Great way to end. Bye, everybody.